And welcome to St. Louis, Missouri. And today in the Dome, the St. Louis Rams with a golden opportunity to wrap up home field throughout the NFC playoffs. They bring their 11-2 record here against the New York Giants, who are playoff hopefuls with a record of 7-6. And welcome everyone. Dick Stockton along with Matt Millen. And the Rams are looking for their second 6-game winning streak of the season. They lost 2 games to winning teams, Matt, in Tennessee and Detroit. And Dick Vermeil told us yesterday, this will be a good barometer for us as we enter the playoffs to see where we are against winning teams.
And the way they've done that, Dick, when they've played well, really, they haven't lost at home. That's the first thing to remember. Second thing is this is a good, solid defensive front of the New York Giants. But when they're playing well, they're really humming. Kurt Warner's having a phenomenal year, number one. Isaac Bruce outside is the guy who brings it all together in a passing game. And then the third of that triumvirate you have to watch is Marshall Faulk, because he creates problems both in the run and the pass.
The Giants have won 2 in a row, and they're back in it, and they are brimming with confidence. And right now, let's go down to the field. Pam Oliver is with Giants head coach Jim Fossil.
All right, thanks a lot, Dick. And Jim, we all know the Rams are solid across the board, but the Giants are playing with a lot of confidence. How can you pull off an upset today?
Well, we went on the road last week, and I think we proved some things to ourselves. And, you know, this is going to be a playoff environment in here, and we've just got to be tougher than the situation.
What is your strategy in the kicking game? You bring in a brand-new kicker versus their kickoff return specialist, Tony Horn, who leads the league.
Well, what we want to do is try to pin him in the corner the best we can, but we've got to let Jose kick the ball and get the depth on it, and then we've got to have great coverage.
All right, Jim, thanks a lot. Let's go back upstairs to Dick.
So Jose Cortez, the new place kicker and the new field goal kicker for the Giants on kickoffs, that is. And Matt, how do you see today's game?
I think if you listen to what Jim Fossil said, it's real simple. He said out-tough him and translate that. That means they've got to control the football a little bit, because they can't let this Ram offense continually have a short field and B, the ball in their hands. The longer they have the ball, the chance of them scoring is going to be that much higher.
So the Giants against the Rams coming up here in St. Louis, and the kickoff in just a moment. And back in St. Louis, the Giants and the Rams getting set to go at it. And the Giants signing Jose Cortez from Oregon State, who was waived by the San Diego Chargers late in camp to improve their kickoffs. They haven't been deep enough with Carrie Blanchard, and the Giants hoping Cortez can get it in the neighborhood of the 5-yard line. And Tony Horn, who leads the NFL in kick returns, and he should get a good return here on the run on the 15-yard line. And Horn brings it out to the 27-yard line, where the high-flying St. Louis Rams go on attack. Kurt Warner, 7 300-yard games, and one of the best in history if you look at what he's achieved. Up front, Pace, Newton, Grudadoria, Timmerman, and Fred Miller is the right tackle. Marshall Faulk and Robert Holcomb in the backfield. Isaac Bruce along with the rookie Torrey Holt, the wide receivers. And the tight end is Roland Williams. So the Rams begin from the 28. And passing on first down to Isaac Bruce, and he drops the ball. He was open, and it'll bring up second down. The Giants defensively, their strength is their front 7 with Cedric Jones, Keith Hamilton, Christian Peter, and Michael Strahan. Jesse Armstead, Corey Widmer back starting at middle linebacker with Ryan Phillips on the outside. Jeremy Lincoln, Emmanuel McDaniel, along with Sam Garnes and Percy Ellsworth, and McDaniel and Lincoln again starting at cornerback. Practice squad secondary is how Jim Fossil termed it. 2nd and 10, and Marshall Faulk goes in motion to the left, and he makes the reception at the 30-yard line. Dives for the first down and may have it. He does.
Dick, one aspect of this team, and for those of you who haven't had a chance to watch this St. Louis Ram team, you may not really appreciate this, but they are playing with such confidence right now. They believe they can do and score from anywhere on the field, and the quarterback is kind of sick of waiting for everybody's talking about when's his bubble gun. He's kind of sick of it.
Yeah, he's no fluke, man.
This is what he is. I mean, that's what he tells everybody. And watching the tape, he doesn't show anything but this.
First down at the 39-yard line of the Rams, and again going to the air with plenty of time. The pass is caught by Torrey Holt. And the #1 draft pick from North Carolina State, A gain of 23 yards into Giant territory, and he's tackled by Sam Garnes on the 38.
Well, watch right here. Here's going to be the whole key all day long against this Ram team. If they don't get any pressure, this is going to be the result the majority of the time. At least to what, 67% is what he's been throwing at. And they're playing a zone in behind it, and Holt's able to just run through it because of that time. He's able to find a hole, and it's a big play.
His first career 100-yard game last week against the New Orleans Saints. First down at the 38 of the Giants. And the first running play, and it's Marshall Faulk. He gets inside the 35-yard line, where Jesse Armstead makes the tackle, a pickup of 4.
Well, to me...
And right now, Jesse Armstead has other work to do.
That's all right. You know, as a player, there's nothing better than getting in a scrap right at the start, because it heightens everything about you. And yeah, you don't want to see a lot of fighting, and but you want to see intensity, and you want to see that it means something to you. And that guy, Jesse Armstead, plays like that all the time. If I had a team, that guy would be on my team always, because no matter when I watch the tape, he always plays with that intensity.
He, along with Michael Strahan, the keynotes for the Giant defense. 2nd down and 6. Isaac Bruce in motion. And again, Warner has time, and he swings it out to Faulk, and Faulk is hit immediately for maybe a 2 yards on the play. Scott Gallion, who has played well in the nickel defense for the Giants, holds the play to a 2-yard pickup.
One thing about this New York Giant defense, you mentioned earlier at the start, Dick, that the corners right now, obviously Sehorn's not there, Philippi Sparks not there. They're playing with a makeshift secondary. And from the very first play of the game, you saw what these Rams want to do. They're going to go right after the weakness. I think that's smart football.
That's percentage ball, and Conrad Hamilton, who is yet to play this year with a knee injury, activated today, is in the game, number 41. 3rd down and 4, going up top to Oz Hakeem, and the pass is knocked away, and that was Emmanuel McDaniel, who was dropped from the Miami practice squad, who knocked the ball away.
Well, he didn't get dropped from the practice squad for coverage like this, because this is pretty good. It's called the trail technique. And he's on. Now, he looks, when Hakeem looks, he looks. And you saw his head goes back right there. See that? And then he's able to see it and knock the ball away. That's very well done.
And Jeff Wilkins attempting a 50-yard field goal, and he has come under fire from Coach Dick Vermeil, but he misses again off to the right. So Wilkins has been getting a lot of heat from Dick Vermeil for missing field goals. That 50-yarder is wide right. We'll be right back. The St. Louis Rams, in 8 of their 11 wins this year, scored on their first possession of the game. In their 2 losses, they did not score in the first quarter. And the Giants have stopped the Rams on the first possession, and now will take over on the 40-yard line. Kerry Collins making his 5th start of the year and the 4th in succession. And the handoff is to Joe Montgomery, the rookie running back, and nothing there. Maybe a yard on the play. The Giant offensively coming alive as of late, with Collins in the last 2 games, 4 touchdown passes and 1 interception. Up front, Roman Oben, the left tackle. Mike Rosenthal, the rookie from Notre Dame. Derek Engler starts at center. Ron Stone on the right side, and Scott Gregg. Joe Montgomery with Greg Camella in the backfield. Amani Toomer, Ike Hilliard, the wide receivers. And the tight end is Howard Cross. 2nd down and 8. 2 tight ends on this play, and the pass is caught just shy of the 1st down by Ike Hilliard, bringing up 3rd and about 1.
Dick, the difference, and everybody has their theories, but when I look at this team, I think the biggest difference is Kerry Collins' decision making. He's thrown the ball away when he's had to. He hasn't forced the ball. He's gotten away from sacks just by dumping it off. And if he can play, it's more aware than smart. It's just being aware of the situation. If he can play aware like that, he'll continue to improve as a quarterback, because he does have all the physical skills. He's got a big, strong arm. He sees the field real well. All those are positives for the Giants.
Those are his numbers, 5 touchdowns, but 7 interceptions in a 2-2 record as a starter. 3rd down and 1, just short of midfield. Luke Pettigrew, the Giants' #1 pick lines up at right tackle. And they hand off to Joe Montgomery, and he may not have made it. He is stopped at the line. Kevin Carter was the first to hit him. And we may have a measurement.
From here, and I'm sitting right on the 50. They're short. Nate brought in Pettigrew. Nate tried to play just power on power right here on this side. And where it was met, the London Fletcher did a phenomenal job, as did Carter. Watch Carter. Carter takes on Greg, gets rid of him, and then hits him in Fletcher's right inside of the fill. Very well done by both those defenders.
Fourth down, and Brad Maynard leading the NFC with kicks inside the 20, but the dangerous Zahir Hakeem back deep for the Rams. And this kick heading over toward the corner. Hakeem will let it bounce, and it goes out of bounds. And once again, Maynard does a good job of getting it inside the 20. It'll go out of bounds at the 5. So each team has had the ball once. No score here in the first quarter. .9:05 remaining in the first quarter. The Rams starting from their 5-yard line, and look at the incredible numbers posted by Kurt Warner, including 34 touchdown passes, leading the NFL in those 4 categories.
4 wide receivers in. They're going to attack the secondary with all kinds of stuff.
And Warner in the end zone fires, and the pass is complete, and getting away from a defender is Torrey Holt. And yards after the catch, and it gives the Rams a first down and a gain of 13.
Dick, I want to show you something. Just what the Rams try to do to you. They give you the same patterns, but they give you all these different sets. They go empty backfield. They shift on you. They make you have to adjust. They come back with the same personnel group, then they go 2 tight ends. And then they come back the same thing and give you motion. Always making you have to defend them and adjust to them. And somewhere in there, a lot of times you have a mental breakdown, and then they take advantage of it.
So far it's been 6-1 pass to run for the Rams, and this time they keep it on the ground, and Marshall Faulk off the left side, and a big gain, about 9 on that play. And Marshall Faulk, the leading rusher in the NFC, third. Percy Ellsworth the tackle.
I think one thing to keep in mind as you're watching this Ram offense is the man who's calling it is Mike Martz, who learned a lot of his football the last few years under Norv Turner in Washington. And the similarity, they're running the same offense. The difference with Mike Martz is he's got Marshall Faulk, which is a very versatile player.
2nd and 1. Robert Holcomb, the big fullback, up the middle on a rare carry for him, and he gets to the 36. Another 9-yard gain and a Ram first down. Jeremy Lincoln on the tackle.
2 things for this New York Giant defense that they absolutely have got to do. They can't let this team run on them like they have this little series right here. They can't let them run, and they've got to pressure Warner. If they don't do those 2 things, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
From the 36-yard line, and the handoff to Marshall Faulk. And you're right, so far the Giants have not put pressure on Warner, nor have they stopped the run, although Keith Hamilton brings down Faulk.
Fred Miller, when you look at this offensive line, you break him down. Fred Miller has percents. They're not helping him. He's going against Michael Strahan. And if Strahan's going to have him by himself, Strahan's got to turn in a big game.
Here's Miller, who struggled in the Tennessee game against Javon Curse, but has come back since that contest. 2nd and 9. And there's the screen pass, and it's caught. And Marshall Faulk out of the pack. That's why he leads the NFL in total yardage. That's a 27-yard gain. Ellsworth on the tackle, back into Giant territory.
Marshall Faulk is phenomenal. He has great vision. He has phenomenal understanding of the game. And watch the timing he has. Watch how he just sets things up. The movement there. Percy Ellsworth makes a major mistake. See, he waits on him right there. See, by just that little hesitation, he gives him an extra 10 yards. Ellsworth knows he's in trouble in the open field. Most people are against Faulk. But you have to at least tackle and take one thing away from him.
Amp Lee checks into the game for the Rams as Faulk gets a breather on first down from the 36. Again, a lot of time for Kurt Warner, and this pass incomplete. Double covered in the end zone was Torrey Holt.
That's still not, that's a good throw. It's a good throw because what he does, he throws it to the back of the end zone.
Strahan is shaken up. That's not good news for the Giants.
No, it isn't.
Strahan has been bothered by a sore knee, and he's going to come out of the game.
He's not real thrilled there.
Injured Giant, 92, Michael Strahan.
Strahan replaced by number 79, Bernard Holsey.
2nd and 10 from the 36.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line. So the Giants are losing right now momentarily their best pass rusher.
And you know the Rams know he's their best pass rusher as well.
Ampley remains in the backfield on 2nd and 10. Warner with a pump fake. Being chased from behind and hit by Cedric Jones. It is a free ball, and it is recovered by the Rams. And they ended up gaining about 3 yards on the play. Ampley recovered the fumble.
Well, there is all kinds of time to throw this football. Orlando Pace has him pushed so far up the field, you expect the ball to be gone that far. When he's up that far, a nice job of hustling and staying with the play, and good coverage down the field, which makes Warner hold on to the ball. And then the Giants miss an opportunity there to be able to get that. Now you'd have to question, did his arm come forward? The only way it come forward is the fact that Cedric Jones knocked it forward.
Cedric Jones, 4 forced fumbles and 4 sacks in the last 3 games. Pressure put on Warner, completes the pass to Azahir Hakeem. A flag is down as Hakeem is tackled at the 32-yard line by Emmanuel McDaniel, and the preliminary call is holding against the Giants.
Holding, number 36 of the defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
Sean Williams, the Giants' nickel corner, and an automatic first down for the Rams.
You know, Dick, what happens when you have your corners beat up? When you lose one corner, that affects your nickel and your dime, because now that third corner becomes your second guy, or your whatever it is. And then when you lose both of those corners, now your third best corner becomes your best corner, and then a lot of times you have safeties having to be in a position, so it really affects your nickel, your dime, everything you do.
You saw Felipe Sparks, who could not go today, out with a groin injury once again. Rams with a first down at the Giant 28. Here is Marshall Faulk trying to go outside and is tackled maybe for a loss of a yard. Scott Gallion.
When speaking about this Rams offense, and to a man, they all say the same thing. The first 2 words out of their mouth. The first thing is Kurt Warner and the phenomenal year that he's having. The second one, though, is Marshall Faulk. And to me, Marshall Faulk is the key to this offense. Kurt Warner's had a great year, but Marshall Faulk presents so many problems. And he might be the smartest guy, offensive guy I've been around. He's phenomenal.
Pass by Warner is tipped. And it was Ryan Hale, a rookie from Arkansas, who got a hand on it. And that will bring up 3rd down and long. And once again, the Rams have 4 wide receivers at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, did you see what they tried to do there, Dick? They took the 4 and they threw them all down the field. Then they took Marshall Faulk and they just sent him right down the seam. And if Hale doesn't tip this thing, this is a big play, because everybody's run off and you have Faulk underneath with a lot of green to work with.
Now 5 receivers, an empty backfield for the Rams on 3rd and 11. Warner going for Torrey Holt, and he drops it. It was in his hand, dropped. Jeremy Lincoln on the coverage, but the pass was there.
A perfectly thrown ball. Perfectly thrown ball. What the Giants decided to do there was rush 3 and give you 8 in coverage. Lincoln just stays to the top shoulder, but watch where the ball's thrown. A little bit of push in the separation here by Holt, but it goes unnoticed. The ball is exactly where it has to be.
So Jeff Wilkins, who missed a 50-yard field goal earlier, will attempt a 47-yard kick. And this kick is long enough, and it's good. And the Rams take the lead. They started from their 5-yard line. It's 3-0 St. Louis. Rams have gotten 3 points out of 2 possessions so far in this game, with 3:24 remaining in the first quarter. Jeff Wilkins with the 47-yard field goal. He's 1 for 2 in the game, and Marshall Faulk with 36 total yards in the 11-play drive. Wilkins will kick off, and David Patton back there with Bashir Livingston. Patton. And the rookie Livingston, who's got good speed. This kick into the end zone. David Patton will run it out from 4 yards in. And he's tripped up and down at the 20-yard line. And it was Leonard Little who made the play. We'll be right back in just a moment. Back here in St. Louis, the Rams lead at 3-0, looking to wrap up home field advantage throughout the playoffs with a victory today. The Giants with their second possession and the handoff to Joe Montgomery, and the rookie from Ohio State picks up about 7 yards on first down.
You know, last week they had a tough week, Dick Vermeil, and Wilkins the kicker, and he got on him pretty good. And he'll be there. Dick Vermeil will be there to jump you. He'll also be there to pat you on the back. He'll do anything he can to motivate you. Gave him a couple of shots here early. He hit one, missed that other 50-yarder, but he came right back to him.
Tiki Barber in the backfield, 3 wide receivers on 2nd and 3. And here is Barber, nothing there, and a loss. And Nate Hopgood-Chittick, who has come in for DeMarco Farr at defensive tackle, and a loss for Barber of 3 yards.
Yeah, it's funny you talk to Dick Vermeil about Nate Hopgood-Chittick, and the one thing he says, he said he would be on my team all the time. You can watch him in here. And when you ask him why, it's because he never stops. And I think that's a great point for all you players out there at any level, is just have a great motor. Keep on playing hard as you can. Hopgood-Chittick does that, and he's got himself a roster spot in the National Football League.
3rd down and 6. Terry Collins rolling out, and the pass incomplete, intended for Amani Toomer. Could not hold on, and the good coverage on the play by Dexter McCleon, and that will bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that's a catch that has to be made, because Toomer's working on McCleon outside, and the ball's right where it has to be, right in the chest. McCleon gets his hand in there, but you got to make that catch. That's the same thing as Isaac Bruce dropping one early, and then Torrey Holt dropping one. I have seen more dropped balls this year than any season I can remember.
Open drop passes.
Yeah, by good receivers.
Brad Maynard kicking to Oz Hakeem, and a fair catch called for with a penalty flag down. The marker is down as Hakeem fields the fair catch at the 40-yard line. Jerry Austin, the referee.
Penalty flag down.
That'll go against the Giants, and with this field position,
Too many men on the field, perhaps.
it's pretty good field position.
Number 85 of the kicking team went out of bounds on his own.
David Patton.
5-yard penalty, re-kick, 4th down.
It's all right if you get forced out of bounds. Then the defender has to let you in. But you can't use that. I don't know about that. He did get pushed outside by Taji Allen. But then he has to try to work back in. Okay, they took it at, they're going to give the ball up at the 40. They're saying that they like their chances.
With Maynard
getting
back
a better
at the 5-yard line now.
So you can't use the sideline as your friend. If a guy whacks you out there, you can go out, but then you have to work yourself right back inside.
So Brad Maynard will kick from around the 5-yard line.
Watching David Patton's there on the sideline, and Deshaun Johnson is taking his spot outside.
And Maynard's kick, and it's going to take a bounce and go out of bounds. So a difference of a couple of yards for the Rams.
Looks like it's the maybe a half a yard.
Rams lead the Giants 3-0, 1:41 remaining in the first. Christmas Eve, an unusual day and time, 2:30 Eastern for the pregame show, 11:30 Pacific. The Dallas Cowboys continue their playoff run against the New Orleans Saints at the Superdome. Michael Strahan returning to the Giant lineup at defensive end, suffered a knee to the thigh, and he's back in there. Rams with good field position, starting from their 41. Tight end Jeff Robinson in motion to the left, and this pass is dropped by Roland Williams, the tight end. And right now, for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Dick, look at the versatile talent that Peyton Manning is working with. This is running back Edgerrin James on an out-and-up route, 37-yard strike, one-handed grab. Indianapolis on top of the Skins in the first, 7-3. Back to Dick Stockton and Matt Millen.
That's phenomenal. Edgerrin James is lessened the void there that Marshall Faulk. In fact, he's had a phenomenal year. When they talk about him, the biggest thing has been pass protection, where James has to get better.
David Patton going inside, and the handoff to Marshall Faulk, and Faulk getting about 8 yards on the play, tackled by Percy Ellsworth. But on the previous play, another drop by another Ram receiver.
It's funny, I was talking with Paul Justin, the backup quarterback, prior to the game. We were talking about Marshall Faulk because I said, is he as sharp as he appears to be? All the things I see him. He said, Matt, let me tell you something. When I was in Indianapolis with him, we got in the huddle, and I got to the line of scrimmage, and I called the protection. And I was ready to snap the ball, and Marshall patted me on the rear end and said, wrong one, go to another one. He said he's always in the game. A great student of the game.
3rd down and 2. Warner has time, and he's got an open man. And the pass caught by Torrey Holt. Oh, that's Marshall Faulk downfield and out of bounds, and a gain of 33 yards and a first down, and he had beaten the defender, Percy Ellsworth.
That's tough coverage. That's tough coverage. It's tough coverage, especially when you're going to have somebody who's going to give you some time. Here's the battle we talked about. Strahan working on Miller. Miller wins the battle. And then when you have coverage outside and you're Ellsworth or a linebacker, and you have the running back getting up the weak side all by himself, that's really tough.
Faulk has caught 4 passes already for 72 yards. And the Rams on the Giant 19. And Warner again with a lot of time, completes it to Holt. And he makes the catch, goes out of bounds, and lost it after he was out of bounds. Armstead on the cover.
The only thing that stopped Kurt Warner today has been his receivers dropping him. Has 3 drops. The ball has been right where it's had to be the whole time. He's really been phenomenal. You go to the end of the first quarter, his receivers have stopped him.
And that is the end of the first quarter with the score. The Rams 3 and the Giants nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue right after these messages. As we start the second quarter, the score 3-0 in favor of the St. Louis Rams. It's 1st and goal for the Rams at the 9-yard line. They have the best red zone offense for touchdowns in the NFL. Kurt Warner can't find a receiver, and he's big enough to get close. And he is down by McDaniel.
Isaac Holt. Torrey Holt, rather, had an opportunity to get him into the end zone and just kind of ran right by it.
Talk about fast starts, and that's been the theme for the Rams all year. It doesn't show it on the scoreboard yet, but they're really playing well.
Well, I mean, you look at this game, it's just been all St. Louis, and the way it's just been all offense. I mean, they've had their 2 times on defense, and they've stuffed them. But offensively, they've just been moving the ball up and down the field. The only thing that stopped them really has been themselves.
You mentioned 3 drop passes. 2nd and goal at the 3. Isaac Bruce in motion. And here is Marshall Faulk. And Faulk is stacked up at about the 3-yard line by Percy Ellsworth, who comes up from the secondary position, bringing up 3rd and goal.
Just power football. Just try to get him on the edge and use his speed and his instinct to be able to get out there. But a good job of this Giant defense of getting off the blocks and closing on it. Now you have Jeremy Lincoln walking off the field, which means Another corner, you're down.
3rd and goal from the 3, and the pass into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Intended for Oz Hakeem, and it was Conrad Hamilton defending, and losing his helmet in the process was Kurt Warner.
2 things you'd have to look at. Did he have possession of the ball, and was he forced out of bounds? In other words, if he didn't get tackled, would he come down in bounds? That's the determination that the officials would have to make. So the first part of that is, does he have possession? There's the throw to the back of the end zone. Yes, there's possession. Now, would he have come down if he wasn't forced out of bounds inbounds? And that's what they have to talk about. He has the ball. Tough call. It's right on the official.
And
the official's right on top of it as well.
Has to decide whether he really had the ball, was juggling it as he came down. It appeared as if he had it.
He did a good job at catching it with his hands. And then Hamilton did a very good job of staying with him and bringing him out of bounds.
After the discussion on the field, it is ruled that the receiver was forced out of bounds. It's a touchdown.
That's a good job of officiating. They knew it right away. They had an official right on top of it, and then they had their discussion. And this is what they were discussing. They ruled, first of all, that he had control of the ball, and it's a good hands catch. And then they're saying that if he's not forced out, his feet would have come down inbounds, and it would have been a score.
Great job of officiating, because they got it right after a discussion. And they didn't need replay for this. All it meant was just talking it over with the officials. And now Jerry Austin discussing it with Jim Fossil.
Well, if I'm Fossil, I'll raise it as much as I can. You just keep screaming at him and just humming on him. They're not going to change their call. But what?
It is not reviewable because it's a force out play.
Exactly.
Jim Fossil obviously
saying it's not a force
right.
out.
Yeah. But if they do rule it's a force out, you cannot review that. So Jim Fossil,
that little baby-faced kid right there, that's Sean Payton, who's calling the offensive plays.
And he's done it the last few weeks. Sean Payton, who came from Philadelphia, by the way, was a running backs coach at San Diego State with Marshall Faulk.
A force-out play is not a reviewable play. We will try the extra point.
So the touchdown will go, and it is 9-0 now in favor of the Rams. And Oz Hakeem holding on to the ball with great concentration. 7th touchdown catch for Hakeem, and Jeff Wilkins looking to add the 10th point. So about a minute and a half into the second quarter, the St. Louis Rams lead the New York Giants by a score of 10-0. Rams lead 10-0. Hakeem defended by Conrad Hamilton, capping a 7-play 59-yard drive, and it would be more had Torrey Holt held on to a touchdown pass. Kick being returned by Tiki Barber of the Giants, and Barber is upended, and it's the same special teams player, Leonard Little, who figured on the last return by the Giants.
You know, when you have good special teams, the guys who make the most plays are linebackers, strong safeties, and your fullback types. And when you have guys who are tough guys like that, and they can run down and make them, that's when you have really good special teams.
Frank Gans, a very volatile and impressive speaker as the special teams coach. He can get you revved up. First down at the 20-yard line for the Giants, who trail 10-0. Play to action for Kerry Collins, and this pass completed at the 38 to Amani Toomer, who gets close to midfield. He'll be tackled at the 48 for a gain of 28. Todd Light defending.
Very well done, and a good job of protecting. They go with the play action. DeMarco Farr gets a shot inside on Engler, but he's picked up by the rookie Montgomery. And because of that time, Toomer can work Light on the outside. Takes him deep. That's basically 15 back to 12, and then you keep on make the reception and get upfield.
That's the first down for the Giants, who have been beaten badly in total yards. Brian Alford, number 80, lines up at the top of your picture on first down, and the long pass intended for Alford, and just beyond him. He was defended by Todd Light. Alford, a third-round pick from Purdue, with 1 NFL reception to his credit.
I like that. I like when a guy's calling plays and you go up on him. And Todd Light, you run one, you get his juices flowing, you get him breathing a little bit heavy, then you come right back at him and you make him go down the field. It's funny watching this Giant offense. They're running the same plays, but Peyton called it a little bit different. Just has a different knack of calling. And I think actually when you're just the play caller, you can afford to throw your chest out there a little bit, because it doesn't say head coach Sean Payton.
2nd down and 10. Joe Montgomery, nothing there. The Giants have not been able to run the ball effectively. Jeff Skinina making the tackle for the Rams as Montgomery goes out of the game. Alford, by the way, was the 3rd-round pick last year for the Giants. Caught 1 pass, and here he checks back in the game. 3rd down and 9 coming up. The Giants on their own 49. Pressure up the middle for Collins, and he fires it away. He knew the pressure was coming in and threw it away. Ike Hilliard was the intended receiver, and that will bring up 4th down.
If he would have had a little bit more patience, Hilliard had it. They came with the blitz inside, and this is what he's starting to feel. Tiki Barber has to make a decision to hit 2, instead he hits none. And if he would have just had a little bit more, Hilliard had beaten Light out of the break.
4th down, Brad Maynard to kick again. Oz Hakeem. Short kick, end over end, and on the run. Oz Hakeem, and he brings it out to the 32-yard line. Well, the Rams have had good field position all day, and they lead it 10-0. Tomorrow on Fox, Elaine and Allie find an abandoned baby. The question now, is this group ready for child rearing? An all-new Ally McBeal tomorrow at 9, 8 Central on Fox. Well, the Giants have had trouble finding a healthy and effective runner all year long, and Marshall Faulk has gained 1 more yard than the entire Giant rushing corps.
And that might change this down. No, maybe not. He's splitting out outside. Marshall Faulk creating problems. Nobody on him. Look at this. Oh, now they got the safety out top.
1st down, and Warner going the other way, completes to his tight end Roland Williams, and a gain of 4 yards.
I think I mentioned earlier, and I hate to beat this thing down a little bit, but what Marshall Faulk does to you defensively is you have to decide how you're going to cover him, because once you move him outside, he's as good a receiver as any of the receivers they have, and he can run. And so if you put a linebacker on him, he'll beat you. If you put a safety on him, he'll beat you even worse. So you almost have to cover him with the nickel guy. And when you line up and base people and then spread them, that's the problem he gives you.
3 tight ends for the Rams on 2nd down and 6. Warner's pass caught by Isaac Bruce, who goes out of bounds, and a 1st down after a pickup of 8. And right now, for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Dick and Matt, a battle going on in Indianapolis. Take a look at Brad Johnson, the pump right there, and the outside move by Connell froze the corner. Connell, boy, pass right on the button. 48-yard strike, and Washington's on top, 10-7. That in the 2nd. Back to Dick Stockton and Matt Millen.
All right, JB, and 2 high-scoring teams as the Redskins try to keep ahead of both the Giants and the Cowboys in the divisions.
Pat and John are going to have a lot to talk about in that game, because you got quarterbacks who can throw and runners who can run.
1st down for the Rams. They're on their 44-yard line, and the screen pass is set up, and that time Holcomb, as a flag goes down, did not turn around, it appeared, for the reception.
They're going to call it on Newton because the ball hit him. And he can't touch the ball. See, Marshall Faulk will know the rules, so he'll go down there and try to give him the whole thing. They had the screen set up to Holcomb on the left side. He's not ready for it.
Illegal touching by number 60 of the offense. The ball hit him first. That penalty is declined. Second down.
You talk about how smart Falk is. Remember the game where we did at Tennessee at the end?
Great play, yeah. And then it was Azakim, I believe, who got whacked and was laying, and the clock was ticking down, and you couldn't. What would happen if he stayed there? They'd charge a timeout to him. A lineman went over and basically asked him if he's all right. Marshall Falk just picked him up and said, "Be all right later," and snapped the ball. It was a great play.
Great awareness. Yep. Second down and 10 for the Rams. Following the penalty, and Strahan with the jump, and let's see whether the hard count got the Giants to jump.
Encroachment by the defensive tackle over the center. 5 yards. It's still second down.
So they get the 5 yards back. Keith Hamilton was the first to go over. Strahan was right with him.
Yeah, they had their choice inside. And what that is just a good job of the hard count by Warner. And then, you know, when you're a defensive lineman, you're trying to gain every edge. And sometimes you just have to hold it a little bit longer because that hard count, you know, you'll mistake that for obviously the snap and you're gone.
Second and 5. Rams at their 49-yard line, and here is Falk, and he is driven back, and it was Keith Hamilton, the defensive tackle. No gain on the play.
One guy who never, ever quits playing hard is Jesse Armstead. What a great read, and taking on Holcomb, the fullback. Watch Jesse Armstead right here. This is I formation. He's going to read that back, and he's going to foul. Boom, stuffs him right in the... That is beautiful. I mean, beautiful. The Armstead, because he always plays hard like that.
Third down and 5 at the 49. 3 wide receivers for the Rams. And the flag is down. The pass is caught by Isaac Bruce, pushed out of bounds, and it will be a first down. And now another flag goes down in the secondary.
Might have a hold on offense and a hold on defense. And we will soon find out.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Well, offensive pass interference, number 80. That penalty is going to be declined. Illegal use of hands to the face, number 73. That will be enforced. 10 yards, repeat third down.
So they'll take the Fred Miller foul, and the Rams will be set back.
St. Louis, 3rd and 16 from their own 39.
Here's Isaac Bruce working inside. It's a phantom call. I missed that one, but they did get they ended up getting rid of that one anyway. The other one was Fred Miller, who's working on Strahan with a hand to the face.
So it'll be third down and 15. It's a good thing they didn't take the Isaac Bruce penalty.
That didn't happen anyway.
Rams on their 39-yard line. Azakim in motion to the right. The pump fake by Warner going underneath. And Marshall Falk on the receiving end has the first down. Somehow, someway, the Rams move the ball. Good for 16 yards before McDaniel finally makes the tackle. And right now, let's go down to the field to Pam Oliver with Trent Green. Pam?
All right, thanks a lot, Dick. I'm here with Trent Green. Trent, let me ask you how the rehab is going for you.
The rehab's going real well. I finally got the green light this week to start doing some more functional things, doing more work on the field instead of just being in the rehab room. Now I'm out on the field actually throwing the ball and moving around some.
You encouraged you can come back 100%.
Oh, definitely. And the good thing is, you know, I'll be back in time for minicamp. It's not something that's going to drag out into next season. It'll definitely be healed by the time minicamp rolls around.
Meantime, how do you feel about the season that Kurt Warner's having?
Oh, Kurt's having a great year. You know, I was in a similar situation where it took me a long time to become a starter, and I was able to have some success. And Kurt's waited a long time for an opportunity, and now that he's gotten the opportunity, he's really done well with, and it's taken off. No, I wish I was out there. You know, I wish I was out there playing, and it's good to see the team doing the things they're doing, but I'm happy for them.
And you've done no Christmas shopping, he tells me. Get out of here. Back upstairs to Dick.
All right, Pam, thank you very much. Trent Green, who tore up his knee in preseason, and the Rams call after a 17-yard play called for holding, and that'll bring it back.
Right up top, looked like they got Williams on the hold, number 86.
So the tight end Roland Williams earlier dropped a pass, called for holding. And for the Rams, they're back close to midfield. It'll be first down and 14. Short drop, and the pass is caught, and now it is dropped incomplete. Oz Hakeem hit by Conrad Hamilton, and he jarred the ball loose, and now a flag is down and tempers flaring, and they have been that way since the beginning of this game, Matt.
Yeah, it has. There's another flag on top of it.
I got 3 of them down.
I got 3 of them down and Oz Hakeem down, the ball going the other way. It's a nice hit by Hamilton.
That's 5 down. Well, these teams haven't played each other that much to be intense rivals.
Well, let's see if somebody doesn't get the heave-ho here. Looks like Orlando Pace is taking a walk.
And Dick Vermeil is incensed. So you can put the two of those things together, it seems. But we'll wait for Jerry Austin to sort it out.
Get Orlando Pace out of there, if it looks like that is, and Ryan Tucker's going to fill his bill.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, a late hit, number 76. He's ejected. 15-yard penalty.
So Orlando Pace gets the heave-ho. Now that means Cedric Jones, or whoever's lined up over him, has an advantage, because you're not going to go against Pace, who's playing pretty well. You're going to go against Tucker, a guy who they can beat. Now Fred Miller's been holding up his end of the bargain on the right side against Strahan. Now let's see if Tucker can hold it up on the other side.
So Orlando Pace, former #1 pick, leaves the game. Let's see if we can pick this up.
He's right up top here. He gave him a push in the back, little shove. Then it turned into something. Well, that's where it was, right at the end. He couldn't leave well enough alone. He had to go after him.
And 15 yards tacked on as well. So the Rams, who were in Giant territory at the 45, are now back on their own 36-yard line, facing second down and 29.
Mr. Pace will be getting a letter from Mr. Gene Washington also.
And the handoff to Hakeem on the end around, and he flips the ball to Marshall Faulk. And they, after all that, they get 4 yards out of it. They wanted to get a bigger chunk than that, you can be sure.
Dick, Mike Martz, if I was a head coach, he'd drive me absolutely nuts.
Why?
Because he makes calls sometimes. You don't make those calls. And that's the strength of him. Because he'll do the unconventional against you. And more times than not, because obviously of the talent that he has, he'll pull a play like that out of his hat, and all of a sudden you got a big play. You don't put a ball in a rookie's hands and then have him pitch it out, but it works.
Second down and 24, and Warner getting enough time, can't find a receiver, and coming back to make the catch is Marshall Faulk, and Faulk dives to midfield, and it'll be third down and about 15 after all of that. Corey Widmer returning to the Giant lineup, making the tackle.
Dick, they went from first and forget about it to second and almost and to third, and you got a shot.
And Marshall Faulk has gone over 2,000 total yards. That's his total, 2,029 for the second straight year, leading the NFL in total yardage. Having a brilliant year, and you talk to anyone, you talk about Warner and Bruce and all the rest, he is the #1 weapon on this team.
I think the MVP vote is going to have a tough time between Marshall Faulk and Kurt Warner.
Third down and 15. Warner stepping up, and the pass dropped again. That's the 4th drop by a Ram receiver. Azahir Hakeem was open to make the catch deep in Giant territory. Instead, it'll be 4th down.
And again, the Rams stopped themselves. It's not anything that pressure did. It's not anything that coverage did. It's everything that Hakeem did. Just dropped it. The fourth one.
So it's fourth down, and Mike Horan, who replaced Rick Tootin as the punter on this team. And Horan, the oldest punter in NFL history at age 40, kicking it. And back there is Tiki Barber, and it stays in play, and the Rams will down it at about the 5. 40 years old, and he can still place it. And the Giants will start from the 5 when we return. 6 minutes remain in the second quarter. 10-0 in favor of the Rams, who have more than doubled, almost tripled the time of possession. And the number of plays run up.
The Rams better be careful, Dick. They're letting this Giant team hang around. They've completely dominated them, and they're one play away from this being a close game.
Giants starting from the 6-yard line. Kerry Collins on the slant, and there's a drop Giant style. Ike Hilliard at the penalty marker comes flying.
Holding, number 93 of the defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
So a costly penalty there. Kevin Carter and an automatic first down.
Right down here. That's what they're going to call.
Rams, one of the most penalized teams in the NFL, and the Giants with a first down on their 11. Pete Mitchell is in at tight end, along with Howard Cross. And the pass caught by Toomer, and Toomer carries Dexter McCleon another 8 yards, and a pickup now of 27, and the Giants get out of big trouble to the 38-yard line.
Dexter McCleon's working at it with him. He holds the outside because he knows he has safety help. Bush shows up, and watch the angle. Bush got too high, and because of that, he gave him another good 15 yards. He missed the collision point to blow the thing up.
Giants leading receiver coming into the game with a touchdown pass last week from Collins, and there is a flip back to Toomer, and Toomer is going to go downfield, and the pass is intercepted by Todd Light. A flag is down back where Light picked it off, and it was intended for Hilliard, and Toomer threw it right at the coverage.
Dick, Todd Light read it perfectly, and I don't know what they're going to call here because they were jostling back and forth down the field. Nobody faked anybody out. Montgomery almost got tackled in the backfield first of all, and then he flipped it back late.
That looked like a broken play. I don't think.
Oh no, they were going to throw that thing anyway. But I think what happened, Montgomery saw the defender right in his face and had to make a decision. And then when the defender stopped, he turned and flipped it back.
So Toomer with a good arm, but the Light was all over Hilliard.
Yeah, watch. They're going to bring the corner, I believe. Dexter McCleon. And he comes. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Now he sees he has to make a decision. If McCleon hadn't stopped and just smacked him, end of play. But he flips it back and Toomer throws it down. Todd Light never bit. He had his coverage the whole way. And they were banging back and forth. I'll be curious what the call will be. They've been going after Light all first half at the 5-minute mark. They've tried him about 4 or 5 times already.
He picked one off last week, and he is playing with a slight groin injury.
Too many flags in this game.
Yeah. You see more Jerry Austin.
2 fouls on the play. Pass interference. Number 41 of the defense. Personal foul. Number 34 of the offense. Those penalties are going to offset. Replay the down. First down.
So the pass interference on Light.
Hilliard just trying to buy some time, fake him out. Watch Light stays with him the whole time. I didn't see that. Both guys have the right to the ball. Yeah, I guess you could give him a push to. They could call that.
So the Giants still have the ball right where they were at the 38-yard line after all of that. Penalties offsetting. 5:09 remaining in the first half. Here is Joe Montgomery getting a good opening, and Montgomery carries it out to midfield for a first down. And the tackle by Devin Bush.
Montgomery is another guy who's helped this Giant offense. We talked about Gary Collins and making better decisions. Anybody. Gary Brown get hurt, they don't really have anything, but Montgomery, who of course is the 58th leading rusher in this league.
Imagine 216 yards and you're leading your team.
Well, it's the best they got right now, and he's actually helped them.
First down in midfield. Tiki Barber trying to go outside, but the Rams with good speed, no gain on the play. Grant Wistrom, the defensive end, shadowing Barber all the way.
That's excellent by Grant Wistrom, who's not a big guy. Watch him right here. What he does, though, great hands, good leverage up the field. He forced it to go outside, and then he comes in and makes the play. Wistrom is not a big guy. I mean, he's smaller than some announcers I know, myself included.
Well, thank you. I thought you were referring to somebody else. Noise is a factor. Kerry Collins acknowledged yesterday, and the pitch goes to Montgomery, who is slammed down at the 45 of St. Louis by London Fletcher.
There's a player to watch. All you fans out there, keep your eyes on London Fletcher. He's slow. He's a fast runner. He's built low to the ground. He has a good attitude, and he does this consistently. He will try to whack you. And of course, he feels pretty good about himself. He thinks he's the best linebacker in the National Football League.
Even before he had a chance to play, he felt that way. And the Rams will call a timeout. Their first timeout of the first half. So London Fletcher getting a breather after his tackle and his dance, and we'll have a timeout. 3:10 remaining in the first half.
The reason that the Rams had to take the timeout was because they got confused down here in terms of coverage, and they ended up putting Charlie Clemens outside on Amani Toomer. And when you see that mismatch, you got to say, okay, forget it. Let's call a timeout and get back and regroup. Generally, when you see a linebacker walk out like that, they're going to be stuck in his zone.
Giants doing better this drive than they did in their first three. Face a 3rd and 5. Two tight ends, and the pass to Ike Hilliard, and a first down out of bounds, and another flag is thrown. We are seeing more of Jerry Austin than anyone else in this half.
Hate games like that. As a player, you hate them.
And it'll go against New York.
Foul, chop block, number 78 of the offense, 15 yards. Repeat 3rd down.
That's the rookie Mike Rosenthal, and a costly one as the Giants had a first down, and now they'll bring it back to Giant territory.
You're gonna watch him. He's engaged. Oh, that's a bad call. Listen, he took the inside on a pass rush, and then Oben moved out. He can cut him at the line of scrimmage. What you can't do is he can't be engaged and then cut him. But he wasn't.
Well, instead of a first down inside the Ram 40, 3rd and 20. Back on the Giant 40-yard line, and pressure put on Collins. Pass is caught by Amani Toomer, but he is stopped about 12 yards short of the first down by Billy Jenkins, the strong safety. So the Giants, who had their best offensive series, now will have to kick it away.
Dick, I mentioned about the penalties. As a player, you don't like them because you lose the flow of the game. It's disjointed, and you don't really get settled into a rhythm.
Oz Hakeem, who returned his first punt 11 yards, is back to receive the kick by Brad Maynard.
They're going to let this thing take the 2-minute warning. You had 9 seconds on the 40-second clock, and down to 2.
Well, the Rams right now pitching a shutout, 10-0 with the 2-minute warning. We'll be right back. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris, scores and highlights from around the league, all coming up on the Visa halftime report.
Very well done, Mr. Stockton.
Brad Maynard to kick. We'll give you the playoff picture coming up in a very scrambled NFC situation. Hakeem back deep. Good high kick by Maynard and a fair catch called by Hakeem inside the 15-yard line. Here's what's going on in the NFC. 3 division leaders are the Rams, the Buccaneers, and the Redskins. Right now, the Lions, Packers, and Vikings would be the wild card teams. And the Giants, Cowboys, and the Panthers, with a win yesterday to go 7-7 on the year, are on the bubble.
Those two right there tomorrow night is going to be a humdinger up in Minneapolis. A place traditionally where, I'm sorry, the Packers rather, not the Lions. The Packers have not played very well. And if any, regardless of who comes out, if the Rams get a win today, they'll get their Christmas win.
And the Redskins are up on the Colts 13-10. You know the Rams can clinch home field advantage with a win today, and they are 6-0 at home this year. 2 minutes to go in the first half. First down on the 13, and the swing pass to Falk is incomplete. Ryan Phillips covering on the play. By the way, the Giants, who have won 2 in a row and are in the playoff hunt, are in a situation where even if they lose today's game, need victories over the Vikings and the Cowboys, and they still would be in good shape playoff-wise because they would then hold the tiebreakers against those 2 teams. They trail 10-0, and you're looking at a great 2-minute offense. Second and 10 from the 13. Pass dropped. That's the 5th drop pass of the game, and it's Hakeem the 2nd time.
I said this earlier, I'll say it again. They have stopped themselves. And it's not because of anything that the quarterback's not doing. The ball, look at these balls. They're right where they've had to be. They've been perfect throws, and the receivers have just not made the catches. Last time, Hakeem drops that one for what would have been a big first down. And, of course, this last play, again, same thing. He's thrown a little bit behind him, but he's got to make that catch. You're just killing himself.
Actually, that 6 drops, counting the one before, so it's 3rd down and 10. And here is Warner going up the middle to Ricky Prohl, incomplete, and coverage by Sean Williams. And guess what? Another flag is down, back behind the line of scrimmage.
First down.
And roughing the passer is called against Keith Hamilton, and that'll give the Rams an automatic first down.
Oh, that was dumb. That was dumb. The play was gone. The ball was thrown. And that's not very smart by Keith Hamilton.
Well, he's not the first player to not to be smart today. Orlando Pace was ejected from the game earlier.
Good point by you. I mean, they just got themselves out of there, and they had a $1:40 to go, and they have some timeout. They could get right back in the game.
Pace had his altercation with George Williams, and what precipitated him getting thrown out. 1st and 10 at the 28, and here is Ricky Prohl, and Prohl is there to make the reception as he turned around Sean Williams and came back to make the catch, and a gain of 30 yards and a first down in Giant territory.
Dick, it's not going to happen if you don't get protection. And Marshall Faulk does a great job of picking up Percy Ellsworth and gives him time to be able to step and make this throw, and a nice adjustment by Prohl to come back to the ball, working against Sean Williams.
So the Rams, who have dropped 6 passes, make a great catch there for Ricky Prohl and then call a timeout with 1:25 remaining in the half. That is St. Louis's 2nd timeout.
Yeah, it's like I'm having a love fest here with Marshall Faulk, but I watch the guy, and so many things just step out to me.
How can you not?
I mean, he's a complete player. I was talking with Sean Payton prior to the game, and he used to coach him when he was at San Diego State, and he said one of the things they used to do, Marshall used to love in college, to get the quarterback test that they would give their quarterbacks. And he said Faulk would always get 100, and he'd turn the thing in, and then the quarterbacks would look at him and they go, hey, how can our quarterback get an 82 and Faulk get 100? Something's wrong with this picture.
What a great acquisition for the Rams, who has 129 total yards, and the Giants yet to go over 100. Following the timeout, first down, and the pass intended for Falk out of the backfield, and Warner is claiming he was held.
Well, it was because Cedric Jones put the clamps on him when he tried to sneak out of the backfield. That's a good play by Cedric Jones. He's not going to be called, and it wasn't. get away with one. Remember, there's never a penalty until it's dropped on the ground. And that's tough coverage. If you're going to come with a blitz and you're going to take your defensive end and drop them down on Marshall Faulk, that's tough. Watch it. Right there. Little bit of a hook. Well done by Cedric Jones.
Bringing up 2nd and 10, and of course we seem to have pushing after every play between these teams. And there's the quick pass, but not looking was Torrey Holt. And he looked like he found the seam.
Oh, he found
it. Was wide open.
I'll tell you who found it was Warner. Warner's eyes and awareness found it, and Torrey Holt, the rookie, played like a rookie, not aware right there. That was well done, well conceived. Seen, look at, he sees it right away, knows where he has to go. The ball is perfectly thrown, but Holt never saw it. He just kept on running.
3rd down and 10 for the Rams on the Giant 42. Warner still looking for a receiver, and Kurt Warner finally gets hit. Good job downfield by the Giants linebackers and defensive backs, and good pressure by Keith Hamilton fighting.
Excellent job of coverage all the way around. He was looking down to the left side on Isaac Bruce, and he had him, but he just kept on trying to buy time to make a big play because Bruce never got the first down. Then he looked to the other side. Holt had never had a shot, and then you had to go back to Marshall Faulk, who was sneaking out of the backfield, and they did a good job. You took all that coverage, you boiled down to your last effort, which is Kurt Warner just trying to get there with his feet. It wasn't going to happen.
So the Rams, who got a chance after roughing the passer, have to kick, and Mike Horan looks like he's trying to scrape the roof. Kicks it, and a fair catch called for by Tiki Barber just inside the 10.
That was a great kick. That was a Ray Guy type kick.
Now that is a 29-yard punt that on the stats don't look good, but that was a great kick. You couldn't do any better than Horan.
Going to have a hold, incidentally, against the New York Giants. And if it's post-possession, they'll still retain the ball. But if it's pre-possession, that'll affect
holding number 23 of the kicking team, of the receiving team during the kick. Penalized from the dead ball spot, 5 yards. It'll be 1st down, New York.
Sean Johnson, who was a starter for a while at running back for the Giants. So yet another penalty in this game. And Giants will again be backed in toward their own goal line. Next week, a doubleheader on Fox. Pre-game show at noon, 9 Pacific. The Giants play host to the Minnesota Vikings. Some will see Chicago and St. Louis. In the second half of our doubleheader, Matt, will be in Tampa as the Packers and the Buccaneers play yet another big game for both teams.
Well, remember the last time those two teams played, the Giants will take their knee and end this half. They got farmed, as Trent Dilfer liked to say, at the end of that game, and he is now healthy with his thumb. They can get their defense going. I still like their experience in taking a run in the playoffs if they can get in.
But the rookie Sean King has done an amazing job for the Buccaneers, who lead the division. And that is the end of the first half with the score. The Rams 10, the Giants nothing. Stay tuned for the Visa halftime report with JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
The Visa halftime report is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
And welcome to the Visa halftime with the full house here in Los Angeles. Let's get you caught up on the score. St. Louis looking to clinch home field with a win right now on top of the Giants. 10-0 Marshall Faulk, impressive.
All right, Peyton Manning hoping to lead the Colts to their first AFC East title in 12 years. Looking down the field, looking right, pumps to get the safety inside, down the sideline, man-on-man coverage. He finds his man, Edgerrin James, 37-yard touchdown, one-handed grab. Colts up by 7 early. Brad Johnson back. Out of the backfield looking. There's another pump. This time he finds Albert Connell down the sideline, 48-yard touchdown. Wonderful throw, wonderful catch, and it's 10-7. there you have it at the half, though. 13-10 Redskins.
Steamrolling, huh?
Yes. Kernesinas, you bet he can play. Gus Farad can play, but not so far in this game. Down the sideline. Johnny Morton overthrow. Chris Hudson there. He makes this interception. 3 interceptions in the first half by the Bears of Gus Farad. Detroit up by 3. And then Cade McNown, a little screen pass out in the flat. Back up inside. Bobby Ingram picks up his blockers. 7-3 Bears over the Lions.
Boy, Mike Ditka still looking for answers, DB.
Scratch, scratch, scratch. You bet. Scratch, scratch. Oh, I scratch a lot, Mike. That's why my hair's gone. Tony Banks down the left sideline. Priest Holmes, 34-yard touchdown reception. Spikes his helmet. Why? I don't know. You got to use that thing. 15-yard penalty assessed on the kickoff. Ravens up 17-0 over the Saints.
Everybody likes this kid. What's his name, TB?
Javon Kersey. He's called the Freak, and here is why. Coming in on the bottom side of your screen, he gets Danny Cannell for his 12th and a half sack on the year, and that ties a rookie record. Tennessee up by 7. Razzle-dazzle, a little trick. McNair to receiver Frank Wycheck. Down the field, he finds Isaac Bird. 61-yard touchdown. Chris Collinsworth could have done that. 14-7 Tennessee until Jamie German down in the flat. There's your 6-yard touchdown reception. We got a ball game. Atlanta 14, Tennessee 17.
All right, meanwhile, in Cleveland, it's Jacksonville on top 14-7, but Orlando Brown, the offensive tackle for the Browns, ejected for pushing and shoving the referee to the ground in that contest. A battle of field goals taking place in Miami. Dolphins on top by a field goal. And in Philadelphia, Drew Bledsoe continuing to struggle as the Eagles look for an upset. Torrance Small with 2 touchdowns in that contest there. All right, St. Louis and the Giants. Boy, Marshall Faulk, is he talented or what?
And remind me never to scratch my head again. I didn't know how all that stuff happened. But you're talking about a Rams team. You're talking about a Rams team. You did, and you brought the humor to the laugh. This Rams team has to be a little bit disappointed right now because they have so thoroughly outplayed the Giants in the first half. Should have been a blowout. They would have easily been up 21 points, something like that at this point in the game. But right now, you have to say this Rams defense has really played impressively against the Giants offense that has been hot lately.
Yeah, Giants offense has been hot. Hold them to 94 yards in the first half. Rams over 200 yards of total offense, 12 first downs. They've thrown to Marshall Faulk 12 times. Matt Millen hit the nail right on the head. They do not have an answer for Marshall Faulk. And you just get the feeling every time the Rams drop back, New York holds its collective breath because the thing could break at any time. There's 11 holes in the dike and they got 10 fingers. It's just a matter of time before this Rams offense just explodes.
It's a quarterback game. Kurt Warner, I respect you. You are the real thing, man. Don't you worry about what anybody says. You continue playing the way you are. Kerry Collins for the Giants, hey, just open up. Sean Payton, the coordinator, the quarterback coach now, just open it up and throw that football.
We invite you to continue to stay tuned because throughout the day, Terry Bradshaw will be adding a little color to his remarks for sure. All right, we'll rejoin
very well
Dick Stockton and Matt Millen for the second half after this.
And we're back in St. Louis. The Rams leading the Giants 10-0, getting set for the start of the third quarter. And, you know, as Howie said in the studio, it's like waiting for the other shoe to drop for this explosive Ram offense. But the drop balls have really hurt them thus far.
Yeah, well, 2 things. You know, Chris Collinsworth made a really good point. He said this thing should have been 21 points or more because they've been thoroughly outplaying the Giants offensively. And then Howie said something good. 2 things, actually, about the defense, how well this St. Louis Ram defense has played in the first half because they slowed down the Giant offense. And then he brought up Marshall Faulk. And I think he's done so many things today. And it's, again, it's the big picture, the big package. He can catch the ball outside. He can catch the ball inside. He's excellent when the ball is not in his hands. He'll block. He can take somebody deep. He can work the middle of the field. He does all kinds of things for this Ram offense. And really, without him, they're a completely different offense because he creates all the problems we talked about earlier.
And he has 129 yards in total offense, 97 receiving yards, running over 2,000 yards for the second straight year, and a brilliant season for Marshall Faulk. Yet it is still 10-0, and just a few moments ago, Pam Oliver caught up with the Rams head coach, Dick Vermeil.
Thanks a lot, Dick. Dick Vermeil, let me ask you, how would you assess your team's play in the first half, and what do you need to do in the second half?
Well, you know, we've dropped a few balls that we shouldn't drop. One was a touchdown, another was a huge first down that would put us down into real close. And we've had some penalties that hurt us a little bit. And I think actually maybe we were a little too excited initially, and I think they were trying to bait us into a beef there a few times. A lot of, you know, trash talk and that going on, and that they got Orlando. You know, we always feel we got robbed in that situation, but that's the National Football League.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Back upstairs to Dick.
All right, Pam, and the Rams will be kicking off to start the second half, and let's take a look at the halftime statistics in this 10-0 game.
Well, you can see it right here. I mean, they've just, hey, it was talked about at halftime. It was thoroughly dominated. You can see the drop balls. It would have been, this thing could have been over 300 yards easily.
And Jeff Wilkins kicking off, and Tiki Barber and Bashir Levingston are back deep. Levingston, the undrafted rookie, on the return. Levingston gets a second effort and carries it out to the 26-yard line. Matt?
Oh, you know, playing special teams takes a completely different breed. And the Rams ran down Big J. Williams right into the wedge. Remember, you can't leave your feet. You can't cut anybody. It just becomes, you just have to pick somebody and run right through them. And watch Williams. This is, oh, man, that is just one tough play. And what that does is it breaks up the whole wedge. And it makes Livingston actually be fair game, all because of the great play by Williams.
6'3", 280 pounds downfield. First down at the 26, and the pass incomplete, intended for Ike Hilliard on a good pass rush on first down. Talk about the defense. The Rams, everyone talks about their offense. First in sacks, #1 in rushing defense. They lead in interceptions and third in points allowed. And right now they have not allowed a point in leading 10-0.
I think that last thing, the points allowed, that's the most impressive. Those first three, you can actually make a case because their offense is putting so many points on the board that those three should be there. But the points allowed, that's the big one.
Defense going to improve even more so. Another rush put on Collins, and the pass in and out of the hands of Ike Hilliard. He got his hands on it. Todd Light was defending on a deep pass downfield.
That's a great throw by Kerry Collins, who was just going to get leveled by Kevin Carter, who had beat Scott Gregg right in his face. And he threw that ball absolutely perfectly. And this ball has got to be caught. Look at this, right where it has to be. A nice job by Todd Light of slapping the arm down, but you got to make those catches. You're listening to Terry Bradshaw at halftime. He was talking about, hey, Kerry Collins, just throw the ball, open it up, and they've done that.
4 of 9 for Collins, 71 yards. Third down and 10 out of the shotgun. Collins getting a rush from DeMarco Farr, and Tiki Barber out of the backfield dives forward, and the Giants will have a first down. Dexter McCleon on the tackle, and that has been a favorite play used to success against the Bills last Sunday.
Yeah, and Tiki Barber is a guy like that who can make you, but Rosenthal, the rookie, did a good job of bumping off Mike Jones and allowed Tiki Barber to make that first down.
And the first throw to a running back today by the Giants. Barber caught 8 passes last week. First down at the 37. Joe Montgomery battling his way upfield, and Montgomery gets close to 9 yards with Todd Collins making the tackle.
Well, Montgomery's sure of himself, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Boy,
sitting and talking to him last night, he was, you know, he knows his background, he knows where he's been, he knows where he's going, and that's the most important thing. And he's not afraid to work hard. He's a tough kid. He's a solid built guy, and they're going to get a lot of mileage out of Montgomery.
Came from the projects of Chicago. Didn't play football until he was a sophomore in high school. Went to Ohio State and was injured there. Second down and 2, and the give is to Montgomery. And nothing much there. And the Rams, again, the best rushing defense in the NFL, showing why, bringing up 3rd and short.
He grew up in the projects of Cabrini Green, which is one tough place in Chicago. I used to do some speaking in the schools there.
Yes, you did.
And that's a tough place to have to grow up. He's come out of it really well.
And they bring in
parenting.
Joe Juravicius has come in the game at wide receiver. The Giants have 4 of them on 3rd and 1. And the pitch goes, and a good block, and Tiki Barber around left end. And he shows a forearm as Barber with a big gain inside the 25-yard line. Dre Bly, the rookie, after the 30-yard gain, knocks him out of bounds.
Howard Cross just wiped out the whole left side of that Ram defense. He comes back in motion, and boom, right there. It took Wistrom, and Wistrom took the tackle, and it opened everything up. They lined him up wide outside and then motioned him back inside. He's going to take Wistrom. Look at this. Boom. And he creates a wall right there. One block blocks 3 guys.
30-yard gain by Barber. First down on the 24 of the Rams. And a play fake. Collins has time. And here is the fade pattern to Tiki Barber. And he catches it at the 2-yard line. Tiki Barber shaken up as he gets up, but a big play of 22 that time.
That's a great throw by Collins as well. They tried to give you, what they tried to do is they'll give you the whack, and they're going to take him, and they're going to run him down here. They're trying to get everybody to look on the crossing routes. But he takes that and just runs the back door. Collins is beaten in coverage. I mean, it's not bad coverage, but the throw was perfect. And then watch the catch, has control, and then gets both feet down in bounds.
First and goal at the 2. Joe Montgomery, the running back, but it'll be play action. Collins giving ground and smartly throws it away.
You said it, and that's the difference. That's also a nice catch by the guy with the ponytail down there. Give high fives.
You know, you could have said the guy with the Rams outfit
the
on.
guy in a ponytail. You could see that clear as day. Probably Collins saw him too. Say, hey, look, the guy in the ponytail, boink. Here it comes. He's feeling pretty good about himself. Merry Christmas.
Second and goal. Luke Pettigrew is into the game, lining up on the left side of the line. And Joe Montgomery, nothing there. Third and goal, and the Rams have stuffed the run up the middle. That time it was Jay Williams who distinguished himself on the kickoff coverage moments ago.
Well, you can always tell the toughness of the team in short yardage and goal line, offense and defense. Your ability to come off the ball and just kind of root somebody and just be tough inside. Williams did a good job of coming all the way through. It was a nice surge. Watch the line of scrimmage. Which way does it go? Actually looked like the Giants beat him except for Williams. Williams was able to make the play all by himself.
Third and 2. Tiki Barber in the game. And he's going in motion, and Collins falls down, gets mixed up. His foot got tangled in apparently with the center, and the Rams stop the Giants on third down, and they'll bring in their field goal team.
Smelled like it was going to go to Tiki Barber again, but they stepped on his foot. And who it was Ron Stone. Ron Stone took a counter step and just stepped right on his right foot. Tiki Barber was kind of motioning back, and it just killed it. Now, that's not so much great defense as it is just a bad break.
So Cary Blanchard, who was 4 for 4, including the game winner against the Bills last week. This will be a 23-yard attempt, and it is good. So with nearly 5 minutes elapsed here in the third quarter, Barber the key man. The Giants have to settle for 3. Cary Blanchard's field goal giving the Giants their first points. You know, the holiday season is upon us, and to everyone from all of us, Merry Christmas and season's greetings this week. Rams still lead 10-3. Tiki Barber totaling 63 yards in the drive, capped by Blanchard's field goal. Jose Cortez kicking the Tony Horn, returning for the Rams. He leads the NFL in kickoff returns, and he gets to the 23. So just under 10 minutes remain here in the third quarter. 10-3 the score as the Rams try to nail down home field. Tiki Barber, who ran 30 yards and caught a pass for 21, as the Giants are having to settle for 3, but they trail by only a touchdown. And against the Rams on the road this year, at this point, that's not bad.
Oh, I said at the start at the end of the second half, they've let them in this game, and they've kept them close. And now he got a game.
First down at the 22. Kurt Warner's pass is caught by Isaac Bruce, and Bruce gets extra yards after the catch. Always a killer when you have to play this team. A gain of 32 ultimately. Emmanuel McDaniel defending.
Actually, that's not bad by Emmanuel McDaniel, because he's not going to get beat deep. That's the first priority. Make him stay in front of you. And then he did a good job of getting on his horse, because watch Isaac Bruce. He's going to start to accelerate. But McDaniel, he does the same thing, and he gets him there from behind. That's not bad defense.
Rams in Giant territory at the 47. Hakeem on the flip, and Hakeem is tripped up by Ryan Phillips. But a good gain, and it looks to be another St. Louis first down.
That's that Mike March school of thought. Just, you know, do something they don't expect is going to happen. And of course, that's a pass underneath. If it's dropped or whatever, it's an incomplete pass, so it's kind of safe. And he'll just keep on calling plays. And remember, he's not the head coach. And as a head coach, you watch some of this stuff, you got to think, no, not. Oh, great call.
He's out of the Norm Turner mold in Washington. More pass than run, but this is a run to Marshall Faulk, and why not? A gain of about 4 yards on the play. By the way, in case you've joined us late, Orlando Pace, the left tackle, was ejected in the second quarter for an altercation with the Giants' George Williams, and his place has been taken by Ryan Tucker.
Well, two things for this Giant defense that they had to do. They couldn't give up a big play. They've done that. But then they had to rush the passer, and they've not done that. Fred Miller has played well, and now Ryan Tucker on the other side, they've played well because they've protected Warner very well throughout this game.
Strahan not a factor, shaken up earlier and came back. The pitch to Marshall Faulk. Faulk cutting upfield and gets to the 30-yard line, leaving the Rams with 4 yards. Ryan Phillips again on the play.
This has been the area where the Giant defense has played pretty well here today. They held them only the 1 touchdown going the other way, but down here they held them to 1 field goal and they missed another field goal. They played pretty solid defense in this area.
Jeff Wilkins with a 47-yarder giving the Rams a 3-0 lead, and then Kurt Warner with a 3-yard pass to Hakeem. And this is not the Buffalo Bills that the Giants are playing today. 3rd down and 4. They have a bunch set of receivers to the right. The pass goes left. Torrey Holt, and they rule it a catch and a fumble, and it is picked up by Percy Ellsworth. And Ellsworth goes down, so the pass is caught by Holt, and then he fumbled. And it was Jeremy Lincoln who forced the fumble on Holt, and the Giants get it back.
Well thrown ball. Again, another case of stopping yourself. Great job by Jeremy Lincoln of stripping the ball.
And that is the first turnover of this game. We'll be right back.
Hey, back to football 101. Whenever you have a hot quarterback or any quarterback and you have a chance to take a whack on him in the middle of a turnover, you always make sure he goes down. You try to whack him as many times as you can.
Giants getting it back after the fumble by Holt. First down on their 27-yard line. And here's Joe Montgomery off left tackle. And he picks up about 3 yards on the play, and the tackle by Mike Jones.
This is the last series, and it was first down. This Ram defense had everybody covered, had to throw it away. Second down, they tried to take Montgomery inside, just got stuffed. And then 3rd down, they got the surge, and Stone stepped on his foot and kiboshed that thing as well.
And the Giants had to settle for a field goal. They face 2nd down and 7 on their 30. Collins sets up the screen, and a great play made by London Fletcher as he read it perfectly, as Greg Camella on the receiving end is stopped for a loss of 4.
London Fletcher should turn around and pat Grant Wistrom on the rear end, because he did a great job of taking the inside move and forcing this to come out quick. Look at this, right inside, and then he jumped his coverage. Very well done, good defense.
Setting up 3rd and 11. Collins pass, and it is intercepted. And it's Devin Bush. Bush inside the 20. And Bush goes in, touchdown Rams. 45 yards. Devin Bush playing in place of the injured Keith Lyle, as the Rams get the turnover back and take it all the way for a touchdown.
Dick, the Ram defense did what the offense hasn't been able to do. That's score. Hilliard had a shot. That was just the ball took off on it. But I want you to watch Ray Agnew right at the end. Right there, Ray Agnew allowed him just to be able to cut back inside. Again, staying alive.
And Wilkins' extra point is good. So Devin Bush with only his second interception of the season. And his first NFL touchdown. The former Atlanta Falcon, Kerry Collins, trying to make a attempt. Goes for naught. And the Rams lead it 17-3. Devin Bush, who was brought in, Dick Vermeil said he hoped to play him at strong safety. Former #1 pick out of Atlanta with the interception thrown by Kerry Collins and the 6th defensive touchdown of the year by the St. Louis Rams, who with 5:25 remaining in the third quarter lead at 17-3. Jeff Wilkins kicking off. And that is Bashir Livingston at the 6 on the return. Livingston gets away from a couple of Rams and goes out of bounds at the 35. Well, the defense scores touchdowns as well as the offense. Here's Tart Light against Carolina with the pick, and Mike Jones with a fumble recovery, running it in the same game back in week number 10. Mike Jones again on the interception. And then in week 13 against Carolina, Dre Bly with a 53-yard score.
And then you have Devin Bush, but you watch Ray Agnew right there. Ray Agnew was the key. And the whole key again came back to hustle, because he just turned and got back in the transition game and made the key block to allow him to get in.
Agnew, the former Giant, playing well for the Rams. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Tiki Barber trying to cut upfield. And the Rams have just been tremendous against the run. Grant Wistrom that time and a pickup of 1.
Jeff Scanino is right there as well. That London Fletcher's a tough guy. He plays pretty well. All those guys, they keep on, they have good motors. And I love to watch a defense when the guys keep on coming, because all too often players just stop and watch. That drives me nuts.
111 points off of turnovers. That's why you're 11-2. 2nd and 9 at the 36. Kerry Collins drills it. And the pass caught at the 50 by Amani Toomer for a New York first down.
Kerry Collins has thrown the ball pretty well here. That last throw was his worst throw. He's made good decisions, which he said he had to do. And they keep on pounding the football because so much of what they do in the passing game is off of play action. So even if they're not running for a lot, even if they're getting there 2.5 yards, you still have to do it, because your pass game is so much based off that play action.
Yeah, you got to show the run.
No question.
And let them know you're going to keep running it. First down at midfield. That's Hilliard. Collins pass, and it's Hilliard with the reception, and he slipped through a couple of blue and gold jerseys and gets the first down, picking up 12 yards, and it was Devin Bush finally on the play.
That was well thrown again by Kerry Collins, under a little bit of pressure. Interesting, Pete Mitchell's a guy in the tight end position who this Giant offense, I would think, would take advantage of, because he's very familiar with that position, both from Penn State when he's thrown to Kyle Brady, and also here, Carolina when he's thrown to Wesley Walls, and they haven't looked the tight end's way at all.
Not at all. First down at the 38, and the handoff, and on the reverse, Hilliard, and the Rams are there again with another big play. Todd Collins, and the Giants cannot fool the Ram defense no matter what they try, it seems, and a loss of 2.
That's a great play by Todd Collins. A great play, because he was out there all by himself, and he had the quarterback, Kerry Collins, watch him right here. He holds his ground. He has the Kerry Collins right here. He just runs right through him and forces him to have to come inside of him. That's very well done by Todd Collins, who always plays with great awareness.
2nd down, 16. Another play fake, pump fake this time, and here is Hilliard, and the pass way beyond Ike Hilliard, bringing up 3rd and long.
That's a missed opportunity, Dick, because Dexter McClean bit like a big dog, hard. He bit really hard on that double move. They went with the play action, and he's running with them. There's the pump, and that's when McCleon really bit. Right here was the pump. and he had him wide open.
3rd and 16 coming up. There's McCleon and a timeout called by the Giants. McCleon was burned by Jermaine Crowell and Gus Farad in the loss to Detroit earlier in the year, but the Rams have won off 5 in a row since then. Well, tonight Fox Sunday presents a holiday tale. Armageddon strikes an all-new King of the Hill, followed by an all-new Simpsons, and an evil robot Santa attacks a new Futurama. Then Christmas spirit visits the X-Files. It all starts at 7:30, 6:30 Central tonight on Fox. 3rd and 16 for the Giants on the Ram 44. And Collins on the slant completes the pass to Amani Toomer. And they appear to be short of the first down by 1.5 yards, bringing up 4th down.
That surprised me. They came with a blitz and had Toomer out there man-to-man on the slant with nobody inside. Very well thrown again by Kerry Collins. They're going to come right here. You can see him. Bush is starting to come. Collins reads it perfectly, and he has Toomer out there with Dre Bly man-to-man. Dre Bly goes underneath.
And the Giants will go for it on 4th down. And 2, trailing 17-3.
This is the same play they were going to try down on the goal line.
And there's Collins giving ground, and the pass is caught, and it is a 1st down. Greg Camella, the fullback. And let's wait for the official call as the officials are discussing it, and it is a catch and a 1st down. So Camella had to hold on to the ball, and he did. Billy Jenkins applying the hit.
Well, he got pressure first. That's an excellent job by Camella to hold on to the ball because he got waxed. But first, Kevin Carter gets pressure up the field on Kerry Collins. Now, Collins looks back inside and makes the throw. And then Jenkins just waxes him. That's a good hit and an excellent job at Camella to hold on to the ball.
I hate to say this, my wife Leslie Visser used to babysit for that guy, Greg Camella. Here is Collins on 1st down, and he's sacked. And it's Grant Wistrom coming out from his defensive end position. And right now, for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Dick, Jimmy Kimmel's upset pick of the day, looking good. Take a look at Cade McNown. Boy, he launches this one and finds his favorite target, Marcus Robinson, 36-yard catch for the TD. 2nd touchdown catch of the day by Robinson. Chicago up 21-3. Dick and Matt.
Wow, the Lions missing an opportunity, could fall 2 games behind if Tampa Bay defeats Oakland. In any event, hope for Green Bay and Minnesota.
Chicago has some guys who can make plays.
They're about a year away, or maybe less than a year away.
Yeah, they need a pass rusher. They need another corner, but they have a young running back.
St. Louis. That's their first.
By the way, the Rams called a timeout before the snap. That is their first timeout.
I think the biggest thing that Chicago has right now is they have Curtis Conway, who can make a play down the field, that Marcus Robinson as well. They have Bates. They got young guys who can play.
Well, the Bears are not in the NFC playoff picture this year, but next year they could be. Rams, Bucks, and Redskins all leading their respective division. The Lions right now, along with the Packers and the Vikings, wild card teams, but there are some hungry teams on the bubble. The Giants, the Cowboys, and the Panthers. You had 4 teams at 7-6 shooting for 2 spots after Detroit, but Detroit losing right now, and don't forget Carolina as well at 7-7. And they're the remaining games, and the Packers have to play at Minnesota and Tampa Bay. Minnesota has to play against the Giants and the Lions at home. Dallas seems to have the easiest schedule, if that means anything. 2nd down and 19 from the 34. On the draw play, Tiki Barber got tripped up, and it was Grant Wistrom who did the tripping, and a pickup of about 5 yards. And time is running down, and that is the end of the 3rd quarter with the score, the Rams 17 and the Giants 3. Fox NFL Sunday will continue right after these messages. Start of the fourth quarter with the Rams leading the Giants 17-3, and Jim Fossil handed the play calling duties over to Sean Payton at the start of this 2-game winning streak.
And I like it. And I think, you know, he listened to Terry Bradshaw at halftime. He was talking about Sean Payton mixing up the plays. I like the mix he has, and I like the way he's calling this game.
3rd down and 14 out of the shotgun on the Ram 29-yard line. Flags fly. 2 penalty markers down. Jerry Austin. We've seen a lot of him today.
Too much.
Offside. Number 93 of the defense in the neutral zone, causing the tackle to lift up. 5 yards. It's still 3rd down.
That's a rule they put in last year. Remember, the defensive player, if he moves and gets back and the offense doesn't move, they leave it alone. But if the defender moves and it causes an offensive player to move, then it's going to be on the defender.
So the 5 yards will give the Giants some room. 3rd down and 9. The Giants 17 runs, 21 passes, and you know what this will be. Collins in the shotgun to throw it, needing 9, and he fires, and the pass intended that time for Joe Juravicius and defended by Taji Allen, and that brings up 4th down, and Kerry Blanchard comes on the field.
Well done by Taji Allen, who knows he's matched against a bigger guy, so you use the sideline as your friend. Now you force him down in there, and then when he looks, you look.
So 4th down, and Blanchard will attempt a 42-yard field goal. He has hit 13 out of 14, including 4 for 4 last week. Earlier hit a 23-yard field goal, and here is Blanchard's kick, and Blanchard's kick is no good. It was long enough, but off to the right. So the Giants miss an opportunity there, and the Rams still in front by that 17-3 margin. Let's go down to the field. Pam Oliver is with the injured Keith Lyle. Pam?
All right, thanks a lot, Dick. Keith, for so many years, the defense has carried this team. What's it like for you and your teammates now that the offense is finally pulling its weight?
Oh, it's a joy for us because, first of all, they're so powerful. And I was always hoping that we'd have a good offense, but, I mean, they're so much better than what I anticipated. And, you know, give us an opportunity to move the ball, work the clock, and it's just a little comfort zone. And they're so good, they do so many good things. It gets us into the game and makes us want to make plays.
But the defense, really the unsung heroes this season. Another defensive touchdown for you guys today. You're playing great as a unit.
Yeah, we're playing good. We've given up a couple cheap yards from a couple mental mistakes, but overall we're playing aggressive and we're playing hard. And that's a sign of this defense, aggressive and hard football. And we keep playing like that, we're going to go a long way. We'll
have you back for the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm going to be back hopefully for the Philadelphia game. I hurt my shoulder. It's getting a lot better, and I want to get back. I'm missing all the fun right now.
All right, thanks for stopping by, Keith. Appreciate it. Let's go back up to Dick.
All right, Pam, and of course Keith Lyle suffering a nerve injury to his neck and shoulder. This is his 5th game that he has been out.
Keith Lyle will knock you out, and he is an excellent hitter.
2nd and 8 at the 35-yard line after walking 2 yards. And this is Azahir Hakeem on the receiving end. He breaks a couple of tackles, including Sean Williams, and he may score. Touchdown, Rams.
What a great block by Isaac Bruce. What a great block by Bruce. Bruce was running his route. Dick saw it, came back, and had the key block that sprung him.
65 yards on the play. Hakeem's 2nd touchdown of the game.
Hakeem in the open field uses his return abilities. And now, once you get to this point, you need a little help from your friends. And you just saw it right there. He just flashed right through. He's running your route. Now you have to have awareness. And he comes back and takes Ellsworth out of the play.
And the extra point by Wilkins is good. And that is the 2nd longest pass play for a touchdown this year for the Rams. Hakeem. And the St. Louis Rams have opened up a huge 24-3 lead. And there's Trent Green out for the year in preseason with a knee injury, and Kurt Warner, who has had a magical ride this year. 36 touchdown passes right now. Look at the company he is in for most touchdown passes. Phenomenal for Kurt Warner, and he's going over 300 yards once again, Matt.
And Dick, this Ram team's going to have a nice problem in the offseason to see what they do with both those quarterbacks.
Tiki Barber returning the kickoff. And he gets to the 21-yard line.
You know, Azakim made the touchdown, but you know what? This team, you have to be a complete player in order for every play to work. Watch Marshall Faulk. Picks up the blitzer, allows Warner to be able to get the ball off, and then again to go back to Isaac Bruce. You know you have to make a play. Ellsworth was just about ready to close on him, and he just put the kibosh on him, and he let him know with a smile on his face. Dick Vermeil sees the whole thing too. It's a happy coach.
And it changes the complexion dramatically because the Giants, who have only been able to run 65 times, by the way, Bruce only one catch today, but doing the job. First down, and Kerry Collins finding Ike Hilliard, and a first down to the 41-yard line. But the Giants now cannot afford to run, not that they could anyway, and must put the ball in the air.
Well, they still have to be patient. That's the first thing. So you can pick your spots. But I really like what I'm seeing out of Kerry Collins. This is the best I've seen him, Dick. He had one bad throw, as we saw in the interception for a touchdown. But other than that, he's made good decisions with the ball. He's not forced anything. He's thrown it away. And he's been accurate.
On the 41-yard line, and here's the pitch to Joe Montgomery. Turning the corner and out of bounds, and a pickup of about 3.5. London Fletcher on the pursuit.
I think you're going to see and hear a lot about London Fletcher in the next couple of years because I think he's a good player. He's built low to the ground, like 5'9", 5'10", something like that. He's solid. I mean, he's a solid player. He reads well. He runs well. And
it looks like he's living up to his desires.
He's right on track.
Second down, 10. Collins pass, and it is caught by Pete Mitchell. He is short of the first down by a couple of yards, with DeMarco Farr making the stop. The Giants, as you saw, only 3 points today after really revving up their offense in the previous weeks. But the Giants missing opportunities. They had the first and goal and a mix-up between Ron Stone and Kerry Collins spoiled that attempt, and a missed field goal has hurt him as well, and the Rams have taken it from there to this point. 3rd and 2. Here is Montgomery, and churning for first down yardage. It'll be close.
Montgomery, the ball carrier.
There's Ray Agnew, the former New York Giant. I thought when Ray Agnew was in New York, I thought he played very, very well. And I thought when they lost him, they went down a little step. And he's played very well here for this Ram defense.
And it is very close, and a first down. And you know, you look at it again, I saw some daylight between the tip of the ball and the stick. But the Giants get the first down just in Ram territory. Right about Ray Agnew, and of course Jim Fossil, that's part of his defensive team, happens to be his four-man defensive line.
Yeah, and I also think when they lost Robert Harris, I like Christian Peter playing hard, but he's not as talented as Harris.
First down and play action for Collins, and Collins trying to get it downfield, and it's tipped away. It was intended for Greg Camella, and it was Todd Collins, the linebacker, defending.
Collins was right there on his coverage, as was Dexter McCleon. They were playing in the zone. McCleon, see what they'll try to do? They'll try to get you to bite underneath, and then they'll run somebody behind you. McCleon read it perfect. So he just bought time, saw the whole picture, and then let it come to him. You're going to take this and then try to swing it back outside. Collins is locked up, but watch McCleon. Comes in from the backside, very patiently read it, and made his break, and knocked the ball away.
Second down and 10. Collins incomplete. He had Tiki Barber out there, so it'll be third down coming up for the Giants, who trail 24-3 in a game in which you'd have to say has been underscored by the Rams defense, when everyone talked about their prolific offensive weapons coming into this game.
They really haven't gotten much of a pass rush against this Giant offense. I mean, but they have played real solid run defense, tough defense.
Third down and 10. And the pass intended for Pete Mitchell, thrown a little behind him, incomplete. And coverage by Bly and Clemens downfield. So fourth down coming up. And with 11:22 to go in the fourth, the Giants down by 3 touchdowns and they'll punt.
On the Giants on fourth down, number 9, Brad Maynard to punt. Deep for the Rams, 81.
Brad Maynard will be punting, and Az-Zahir Hakim. There's Maynard, and Hakim already one of the heroes for the Rams with 2 touchdown catches. And Hakim going to field that at the 4 and is dropped at the 5-yard line by Bashir Livingston.
He must have been feeling good about his touchdown because that wasn't very bright to catch there. We'll be right back.
Rams 24, Giants 3. Early here in the fourth quarter, the Rams, who have the score 269 more points than they've given up, threatening the all-time margins. The Chicago Bears, coached by George Halas, quarterbacked by Sid Luckman back in 1942, and the Houston Oilers with
George Blanda was
the quarterback.
61, yeah.
That's right. First and 10 at the 5-yard line, and here's Marshall Faulk getting running room and getting the first down and beyond. And Faulk picking up 12 more yards. Well, Fox Sports proudly presents the final round of Olympic and world champion athletes in the most dynamic head-to-head competition of the season. Skating's elite team up in the Grand Slam of Skating Pro Super Teams Challenge, coming up next on Fox.
Well, I think that this New York Giant defense needed Michael Strahan to play well. And instead what happened was they've been able to block him pretty well today. Fred Miller's done a good job, as had Williams, the tight end.
Kurt Warner to throw on first down, and the pass intended for the fullback, Robert Holcomb.
Michael Strahan's going to go off, and you know, if it's not Williams blocking him or Miller, it's the running back, and Marshall Faulk has been a stallion all game long. Very smart, understands, also trips him. You see the hand, left hand on the right ankle. Got the takedown, 2 points.
Strahan shaken up again. He came out earlier in the game when there was a knee to the thigh and missed a couple of plays. Holsey, who replaced him then, is in there now. 2nd and 10. Faulk diving forward. Gets to the 24, short of the first down by about 3.
You know, earlier in the game, we talked about a possible advantage for the New York Giants also when Orlando Pace went out. Ryan Tucker come in. We have not mentioned Cedric Jones' name at all. And that is a credit to Ryan Tucker. He's come in and he's played that left tackle position extremely well. Cedric Jones, they've been saying he's been playing a lot better, and he made a play on a coverage sack before. But we've not mentioned his name at all.
Basically, the Giant defensive line is not dominated as they've had in their best defensive games of the year. 3rd down and 3, and Warner getting some time, goes underneath, and it's caught by Torrey Holt, and another first down out to the 31-yard line, a pickup of 7 yards. Lincoln was covering.
Well protected. Warner has time to throw. And again, here's Ryan Tucker, who's working on him. Good job of getting the hands up. Get your hands up, and then he stopped. And once a defensive lineman stops and has to restart, it's awful tough to get there. And then, of course, Holt running that underneath route, and they take time to develop. You have to have protection in order for that to happen. He had it.
5 catches for 70 yards for the #1 pick. From the 31, the pitch to Marshall Faulk. And Faulk now goes over 150 yards in total offense, gets 3 on the ground. And Ryan Phillips making the stop. Kurt Warner's numbers, and believe me, they'd be better had not his receivers dropped 6 balls today. Over 300 yards and 2 touchdown passes.
The thing that amazes me about Kurt Warner, he's accurate. And even in practice, we watched practice the other day, he threw the ball where his receivers could catch and do something with it. Rarely is it behind. Usually it's in a spot to do something, catch, and then take off.
8 300-yard games, only 1 behind Dan Marino and Warren Moon. Well, he's up there amongst the elite. 2nd down and 7. And Warner in trouble. And the pass nearly intercepted by Ryan Phillips. He was there to pick it off, but he could not do so. And that was the closest the Giants have gotten to Warner in quite a while.
Well, this time, Fred Miller loses the battle to Strahan. But Warner buys time and steps back up inside and then makes one of the rare mistakes that he's made all day. It was just a bad throw, and Phillips just blew an opportunity. You know, this guy knew it right there.
Third down coming up for the Rams. They need 7 yards for the first down with 8:11 to go in the fourth. Penalty, and they did not get it off in time. And again, some tempers are flaring, as has been the case since early on in this game. And right now, for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles. JB?
Nick McNair finally tossed a touchdown pass, breaking a 6-game slide. Now he's doing on the ground this a 38-yard run. Take a look at the big fella. He's got 78 yards rushing. He wound up with a 3-yard jaunt to pay dirt. It's 27-17. Tennessee on top of Atlanta. Let's take it back to Dick Stockton and Matt Millen.
All right, thank you very much, JB. And the Falcons giving the Titans a tussle in Tennessee today. It'll be 3rd and 12. That was a 5-yard delay of game penalty against the Rams. Oz Hakeem in motion to the left. Here's Falk. And Falk carries it out to the 35-yard line to bring up 4th down.
You know, just watching that score with Tennessee, McNair's got to throw the ball better if they're going to do anything in the playoffs, because they can run the football well, but they've been inconsistent in the throwing department. You're not going to beat anybody if your quarterback's rushing for 100 yards. You've got to throw. This is a passing league. You have to throw.
Tennessee, though, right now sitting in pretty good shape amongst teams not in the division lead. Here is Mike Horan kicking to Tiki Barber. And the left-footed kicker booms one, and Barber inside the 15 is hit immediately. And once again, great special teams coverage. That was Tony Horn, who is the great kickoff return artist for the Rams. That was a 52-yard kick, and the Giants will start from the 20, trailing the Rams 24-3. That's a review of the NFC East standings. The Redskins right now trailing by 4 points, leading the Giants, Cowboys. Arizona still alive. And right now, Washington with the best division record. And it looks like it's going to go down to the wire, at least for wild card here. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. And here is Collins, and the pass is intercepted by Mike Jones, and he runs it in for the touchdown. So the 2nd interception return for a touchdown by the Rams today. And they are just minutes away from wrapping up the home field advantage in the NFC playoffs.
That's the 3rd touchdown, I believe, for Mike Jones. Fumble recovery, an interception earlier, and now this interception. And apparently he never saw him. He was going to try to hit Hilliard back underneath, and Jones was just freed up inside and took it to the house.
And that is a 22-yard return for the score. Jeff Wilkins adds the extra point, and the Rams now with 7 defensive touchdowns, breaking the old record set back in 1978. So they've done it on both sides of the ball and lead 31-3. Giants were fortunate to hang in early by virtue of the drop passes by the St. Louis Rams. One was a touchdown drop, and then the Rams have overrun the Giants in impressive fashion. It's been the offense with Kurt Warner throwing 2 touchdown passes to Hakeem, and the defense with 2 interceptions returned for scores. And now the Rams with 10 30-point games on the year. And this team moving up the ladder in so many categories. Hard to even keep track. And a touchback as Barber retrieves it, and the Giants will start at the 20. By the way, Mike Jones, who returned the touchdown his third defensive score of the year. Next week, let's look ahead to the doubleheader. The Vikings go against the Giants in game 1 of our doubleheader. The pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And then in game 2, the Green Bay Packers, who are trying to stay alive at Minnesota tomorrow, go against Tampa Bay.
And that will be an excellent game on Monday night. And they're going to have big plays. Both teams are going to have big plays like this Ram defense did today. And Mike Jones came up with a gem right there. Touchdown number 3 in the season.
First down at the 20. Collins steps up, and the pass caught by Toomer. And a first down to the 34-yard line, a pickup of 14.
I was talking to John Fox prior to the game. He was talking about Mike Jones and what a solid player. He's not a great player, but a guy who understands his role and understands pass defense, and a guy you could always rely on. He also said he was an excellent leader.
From the 34, first down, and this pass overthrown, intended for Mitchell. Giants still, after this week, Minnesota at home and Dallas on the road, and they must win both of those games to have a chance, and still could be in good shape. This was the game that was least important of the 3, but the Giants did not come out with the kind of zip or momentum that they established in the last 2 weeks. Second and 10 from the 34. 6.5 minutes remaining. Pass underneath to Hilliard, and he's hit immediately in a gain of about 5.
And I mentioned earlier about Mike Jones and talking to John Fox, and the other guy in that conversation was Mike White. They were all together. Mike White was the head coach of the Raiders at the time, and John Fox was the defensive coordinator, and they were just talking about how well he played. And of course, he comes up with another big play here.
3rd and 5, and 5 wide receivers. The flag goes down, and the pass is complete to Mitchell. And Mitchell would have a first down, and the preliminary signal is offsides against the Rams.
Offside, 93 of the defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
Rams coming into this game knowing that this was the 3rd winning team that they have faced all week. They won their first 6 games of the year, then lost at Tennessee and at Detroit. Facing the Giants with a winning record, and knowing that this could be a barometer to what they might expect coming up. I don't know if it is. First down at the 47. Juravicius downfield, and a flag is down, and pass interference called. Dre Bly, the rookie from North Carolina, defending.
That's a good call. Juravicius got on top of him, and Bly just, you're going to watch it right here, pulls the arm down. They're going to call that every time. Anytime you get that arm, they hit him anyway.
Pass interference, number 32 of the defense, automatic first down.
Bly, who has emerged as the nickelback for Dick Vermeil.
Dick Vermeil has got the most talented team he's ever had.
No question about it. More talented than the Eagle team. That's
not even close. And in a game that's changed, it's not the same game that was played there 20 years ago. This is a much more talented team.
That was a 33-yard penalty, and here is Kerry Collins throwing to the end zone, but no one is home. Well, right now, let's go down to the field, and Pam Oliver with Brenda Warner, Kurt Warner's wife. Pam?
All right, Dick, certainly the Warners' lives have been turned upside down in a good way because of his success. Brenda, talk to me just about how the family is coping with all of this newfound fame.
Well, I think we're doing okay. Nobody tells you if you're not, so we're just praying for peace, and we do feel peace with all the chaos going around. We're just doing the best work we can do and just keep our heads straight and our feet grounded.
One thing Kurt has tried to do is to stay involved with charity, and Camp Barnabas is one of the causes that you support, and his new cereal, which I understand they can't keep on the shelves here, has really been beneficial for you.
It is. It's a camp that we're so blessed to be a part of, and the cereal came out this week, and we're just praying that it's successful because we're giving all our proceeds to Camp Barnabas because they are just doing wonderful things with kids.
Okay, thanks a lot, Brenda. The matching crew cut with her husband. Back to you.
And up here, that cereal box is being opened by Matt Millen right now. No surprise
No, but you know, it is crunchy, I'll give you that. Not bad.
It's the taste test as we speak. 3rd down and 10. 5.5 minutes to go. Pass caught by Toomer. And out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. But happy times for Kurt Warner. You know, it's interesting. Yesterday when we talked to Warner, he said, you know, I was asked to go to a workout. They were looking at a receiver with the Jets, and I was throwing the ball. I didn't miss a pass. I was as good as I could be. And when the workout was over, they judged the receiver, never talked to me. I said, what do I need to do to get a shot? He said, just wait by the phone. So sometimes they miss the obvious.
Oh, there's no question. And that happens a lot. And there's guys out there who, if they get the opportunity, can play. But I don't know how many guys could play at that level because he's playing at a really high level.
Timeout called by the Giants, who have a 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. And as you mentioned earlier, Matt, he is tired of hearing, you know, the fact that when will the balloon burst? It looks like Kurt Warner got his chance and not about to change it. He looks like he's the real thing. And, you know, this team, as good as the 1950 Los Angeles Rams, who scored 466 points. They finished the year 9-3. They were the Western Conference champions. Bob Waterfield and Norm Van Brocklin were the 2 quarterbacks. And this was a very talented team. They set 22 league records. They had receivers like Tom Fears and, of course, Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch. They lost the NFL title game to the Browns by 2 points. But the Rams, a mighty, colorful, and interesting team back in 1950.
Well, and then the only time they were able to get to the Super Bowl was in '79 against the Steelers, where they were beaten. They're going to have their best shot, most talented team they've had right now. And they will have home field advantage. Everybody will have to go through St. Louis in the NFC,
where they have won by an average of 26 for their home wins. 1st and goal at the 7. Collins being chased by Carter, and his pass touchdown to Ike Hilliard.
And what a throw. What a throw on the run. That thing had major zip on it.
Ike Hilliard with the touchdown catch, and of course small compensation as the Giants get their first TD.
Well, first of all, he makes Kevin Carter miss. Kevin Carter came clean. Nobody touched him. Now watch this ball. That is really well thrown. Right on the mark.
3rd touchdown catch of the year by Hilliard, who Kerry Collins said yesterday, a gifted athlete, as I've seen. Blanchard, and the extra point is good.
Boy, it almost looked like Dre Bly got a hand on that thing. He had a great jump off the corner.
That was a low line drive to center field.
It's still good. And watch Dre Bly come off the corner. I don't know if he got a hand on it or not, but he had a tremendous jump. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
That's a great effort by Bly.
So it's 31-10 now in favor of the Rams, who headed for their 6th straight win. Started with 6, lost 2, and now headed for their 6th win. Want to remind you, we have a Christmas Eve game coming up for you. And the pregame show will start at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific. The Dallas Cowboys against the New Orleans Saints. Dallas playing the New York Jets today, and they'll finish with these Giants as the Cowboys, one of those teams in wild card contention. Now, if Dallas ends up in a tie with Washington for first place in the NFC East, they have beaten the Redskins twice. And right now, the Colts lead the Redskins 24-13 in the 4th quarter.
You know, Dick, when you look at Marshall Faulk in the year he's had, Kurt Warner the years he's had, and also the other guy you have to look at is Peyton Manning for the year that he's had. And those 3 guys, I would think, would be the front runners for the MVP of the league.
Gary Blanchard on the onside kick attempt, and it is covered up by Ron Carpenter. Amani Toomer with that touchdown catch. Not only did he make the catch for the TD, but he went over 1,000 yards, and the first Giant wide receiver to go over that number since Lionel Manuel back in 1988. That it was Hilliard who caught the touchdown pass, corrected, but Toomer went over 1,000. Paul Justin has come in at quarterback for the Rams as anticipated, and Kurt Warner completes Another outstanding day. Justin beginning at the 42-yard line of the Giants. Hands off to Robert Holcomb. And a good push and a run by Holcomb for 7 yards.
Now, you want to see heavy backfield, and I mean, we're talking heavy. Holcomb is there. He's about 230, but Hodgins is about 270. And I want you to watch Hodgins. He's going to be bigger than most defenders. He's going to take up Phillips, and he's just going to drive him backwards. You just follow 42 if you're that running back, and you're going to have no problem falling forward. Hodgins is a big man.
Paul Justin, former Oakland Raider, in his 5th year from Arizona State, with a 2nd down and 3, and the give is to Hodgins, and the undrafted rookie from San Jose State stops short of a yard.
It's funny you talk about down in the field, and you talk about those guys, and I was talking to John Bunning prior to the game, one of the defensive coaches, and I said, look at Hodgins, they list him at 230, and he rolled his eyes. He said, yeah, more like 260 plus. There's JB, John Bunning, the old Eagle linebacker. Well, he was really good.
And Wilbert Montgomery.
Wilbert Montgomery here is also done an excellent job. They played for Vermeil, but everybody used to talk about Bill Berge all the time. But whenever you got the Eagle tape, the guy who you always watch was 95, John Bunning.
And Pete Junta, the co-coordinator on this team.
Peter Junta has done an excellent job as well. He learned under Bud Carson. In fact, this is Bud Carson's defense that's out there.
3rd down and 1 after the Giants use up their last timeout. Justin handing off to Robert Holcomb. And Holcomb may not have gotten to the sticks.
Well, the mistake he made, Holcomb didn't follow Hodgins. If he'd have followed Hodgins, he'd have certainly
get a yard or two.
Easily. He tried to bounce it outside, then realized, uh-oh, this is short yard, and tried to come back inside.
4th down and 1 for the Rams. Rams winning at home this year by an average of 26 points.
Let's see if he doesn't follow 42 this time. And if I'm a defender, I'm going to go right to 42 as well.
And the handoff to Robert Holcomb, and he may have it. Rams chewing up the clock with under 3 minutes to go in the 4th.
Well, if you're a defender, you're going to watch number 42. He's going to take you right to the ball. Widmer knew it as well, but Christian Peters, the guy who beat him to it. And because he was able, Peter took the legs out, Holcomb went over the top, and Widmer followed in behind him. But you just watch 42 in this. They're just going to kill the clock, take it down to the 2-minute warning. He's just going to be a battering ram.
1st down for the Rams with Paul Justin at quarterback, and there is the pitch to Holcomb going over the left side, and a couple of yards on the play. Kurt Warner finishing the day, completing 18 of 32 passes for 319 yards and 2 touchdowns, giving him 36 on the season. And we're winding down to our 2-minute warning here in St. Louis as the Rams on their way to home field throughout the playoffs. 2 minutes remaining here in the game in St. Louis. The Rams leading the Giants 31-10. Rams headed for their 6th straight win. Be the 2nd time this year they've run off 6 in a row. And Marshall Faulk, who today 165 total yards. 2nd and 7 for Paul Justin, the quarterback in relief of Kurt Warner. And here's Robert Holcomb going outside, and a loss on the play by Sam Guards. Well, today's game was produced by Richard Zions and directed by Artie Kempner. Fine job by the guys in the truck, the technical director Rich Basili, and among our technical crew, Pete Jalveras on camera, Victor Gonzalez in videotape, and Ken Fitzgerald in maintenance. The senior producer is Bill Brown, and the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill.
Dick, in Indianapolis, they got themselves a humdinger.
Yes, they do. We're going to maybe go to that humdinger.
Yeah, it's 24-21, and the Skins just got themselves the ball back on an onside kick with 1:25 to go.
Holcomb with the carry on 3rd and 15, bringing up 4th down. This is a big game. If the Redskins can win on the road against Indianapolis, a huge step toward winning the NFC East and staying ahead of the pursuers.
That'd be a monster game.
Under a minute remaining. So Jim Fossil going down to defeat for the first time in December in the regular season. He'll go 9-1, although he did lose a playoff game to the Minnesota Vikings in his first season, also in the month of December. And Holcomb again to run out the clock. Oz Hakeem with 2 touchdown catches, caught 3 passes today, but 2 of them for scores, as the Rams, taking a 10-0 halftime lead, roll in the second half and will now play 2 playoff games if they win here in St. Louis in their effort to get to the Super Bowl in what has been an incredible turnaround for a team that went 4-12 last year. The clock stopping with 31 seconds remaining. The Giants will drop down to 7-7, and they must win against the Vikings and the Cowboys to harbor any hopes of a wild card. Rams remain undefeated at home. And they roll up over 30 points again, so this has been a juggernaut. Collins looking to throw, and the pass to Tiki Barber. And Barber will run out of bounds with 24 seconds. You know, I think Dick Vermeil is tired of hearing, but who have you played? You haven't played winning teams. They have rolled it up over everyone on their schedule other than Tennessee and Detroit on the road, and there's certainly no crime in losing those games.
Well, and the way they lost it, remember, Dick, in those 2 losses, they gave the game away. And actually, this game started that way. They were missing a lot of opportunities. But as John Madden said in the pregame show, and we were talking about this, it's not their fault. They don't make the schedule. They just have to play the games that are on their schedule. And this is one that they're spanking them here by 3 touchdowns.
And the flag is down. Of course, in the Detroit game, they had that 1-1.
Right.
And then pass interference was called against McLeon.
Defense, number 57, unabated to the quarterback, offside, 5 yards, still first down.
And that was on a 4th and 26 that gave the Lions life, and they won that game. And they fell behind, as you mentioned, 2 turnovers in the first quarter against Tennessee. They came down 21-0 and nearly pulled that one out.
Well, I think just watching this team, they got a lot of offense, and they have a lot of different ways to beat you. Because what we haven't even spoken about today, and one thing to remember, is they have an excellent kicking game as well. Not only in the return game, but they're solid in coverage. They've got every aspect of the football game covered.
And they showed it today with the defense, with 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns. That was Amani Toomer with the catch going out of bounds. But the Rams, with 412 yards in total offense, that's the 7th time this year they have had at least 400 total yards in a game. But their defense, someone on that defense will get a game ball. And, you know, Mike Jones returned 1 for a touchdown. So did Devin Butch. Both interceptions. 16 seconds remaining in this game, and this pass is caught by Toomer. And the clock does not stop, and the game is going to come to an end. The St. Louis Rams defeat the New York Giants 31-10. And Dick Vermeil's Rams go 12-2 with their 6th win in a row. But more important, they continue their great momentum and will have a home field advantage throughout the NFC playoff with so many heroes. Final comments.
Well, I think their offense has played extremely well. Defensively, they're underrated. They're a complete football team. It's going to be fun to watch them through the playoffs.
And when we return here on Fox Sports, James Brown will take it out to bring you up to date. Indianapolis and Washington still battling out. So for Matt Millen and Pam Oliver, this is Dick Stockton saying so long as the Rams beat the Giants 31-10. So long.